Greetings and welcome back to Fun with Dashcams. This is Series 6 video. This is 6 Bravo, showing you daytime, nighttime samples in highest resolution of the two cameras we reviewed previously, the S3000 and the F90G multi-camera systems. So, two things I want you to notice here. Number one is you'll notice the detail within the plate on that front vehicle. You can actually make it out because this is true 720. You also notice a purple tinge in the sky, whereas you won't see it in this next video, which is the backup camera. I mean, you don't see it as much. This is where I think that the cameras may not have the IR filter. But we did notice that there is a significant improvement in quality between these and the original taxi cams, those multi-camera systems that we reviewed, because these are much better CCDs. They also cost twice as much. This camera cost me about 80 bucks, whereas X3000 was about $47. Okay, transitioning now to nighttime, you're going to notice that, of course, light levels dropped a lot more, but we're also gathering a little bit more light, probably in the UV spectrum. The sky actually looks a bit bluish, but it was pitch black when I was driving. But it's still doing a fairly decent job. The video quality, again, you'll notice has improved because we are now in high-def cameras, not a standard definition like the piece of junk we reviewed for the forward-facing in a previous video, the Raptor. And looking back at the rear view here in a second, you'll notice that the resolution is very similar. Of course, this is a standard resolution, but just like you saw in the daytime, the video quality was still about the same, if not a little bit better, which also is something you got to consider when you're placing these cameras. You know, how much detail, how far away of the objective are you going to be? So you need to consider that. But you know, we have average nighttime quality. It's not WDR, it's not night vision. Now transitioning to the F90G, we are now up to 1080p. So this probably is more reminiscent of the Garmin DC20 that we looked at. However, you'll probably see that if you compare the two videos, there's a little bit of graininess in this one, just ever so slightly, because I think this is slightly interpolated. Definitely better than 720, but you also notice there's really not a purple tinge in the sky, so we have a filter. And it just helps with daytime travel, helps get rid of some of that saturation. You also notice that we're trying to adjust the light levels in the sky. Going back to the back camera, you see a marked difference in quality, because remember, this is just a standard definition, really 720 by 480, just like in the S3000. So this is not a high def, and we cover that in the presentation as to why we can't do that. Too much bandwidth to the card. So our primary focus is the front camera to gather as much of that detail as possible, because that's where a majority of accidents and everything happen. It's usually in the front of the car. But this gives us a chance to record a rear ender. So transitioning now to nighttime, you'll notice that the video is a little bit choppier. Like I said, this is not like the Garmin, a $200-something camera. This is about a $100-something camera, about $108. So it's not quite as powerful. It was kind of interesting to see that it's actually picking up some of the light. This is, as you can see, well after dark, and I'm still gathering a little bit of light in the sky from street lamps off in the distance. So it's still doing a fairly decent job. We still have a little bit of definition, so we can kind of see what's going on. Transitioning to nighttime, of course, this camera, you know, being a standard definition, is not going to capture as much detail, but it's still doing a decent job of capturing what's going on behind. Of course, having headlights shining into it are not helping it, but you can't expect much from this camera. It's there to record, not necessarily to get high definition. So I hope that this gives you a good sampling of what you can expect from dual-headed cameras. Have a good day.